It was an ordinary night, but that night was not ordinary. In a busy area of Karachi, where there is noise and chaos throughout the day, and even the nights are never completely silent, in a small apartment, a 19-year-old boy named Hamza lay on his bed staring at the ceiling. He had his phone in his hand, but he wasn't talking to anyone. He was just staring at the screen as if he was thinking about something, or maybe feeling something he couldn't even understand. From the outside, Hamza's life looked completely normal. He was a university student, had friends, a good presence on social media, and a family that seemed happy with him. But the reality was different. Inside, he was broken. He often wondered, why do I feel so alone when I have everything? That night, he was lost in the same thoughts when suddenly his phone rang, an unknown number. He was a little surprised because it was around 2 a.m. For a few moments, he just stared at the screen. Then he answered the call. Hello? There was complete silence for a few seconds. Then a faint sound of breathing. And after that, a girl's voice. Very weak, very scared. Please, don't hang up. Hamza's heart suddenly started racing. Who are you? There was silence again. Then she spoke. I don't know where I am. I need help. At first, Hamza thought it might be a prank, but there was something in her voice that couldn't be fake. That fear, that helplessness, it was real. Stay calm. Tell me where you are. Any sign, any sound, anything. The girl cried and said, I woke up here. I don't remember anything. Hamza's hands started shaking. This wasn't normal. Look around. Anything that can help. A few seconds of silence, and then suddenly, dham, the sound of a door slamming hard. The girl screamed, He's here! And the call abruptly disconnected. For a few moments, Hamza sat completely still. Only one question echoed in his mind. What was that? He immediately tried calling back, but the number was switched off. Now he had two options. Ignore it, thinking it was just a prank, or take a risk and try to save someone's life. After a moment of silence, he made his decision. If this is real, I can't ignore it. He immediately called his best friend Ali. Bro, I need your help right now. Ali, half asleep, replied. What happened? Hamza explained everything. There was silence for a few seconds. Then Ali said, This could be dangerous. Hamza replied softly, I know, but what if she's really in trouble? At that exact moment, Hamza's phone vibrated. A message from the unknown number. Just one line. Basement, dark, smell of chemicals. Hamza's heart almost stopped. This was not a prank. Ali, we have to find her. Ali took a deep breath. I'm coming. 20 minutes later, they were riding a motorbike through the empty streets of the city. The night air was cold, but the tension in their hearts was heavier. Hamza's mind kept repeating, basement, chemicals. These weren't ordinary words. They pointed toward a factory, an abandoned building, or some illegal place. They headed toward the industrial areas, places where no one goes at night, where there is more darkness than light, and more danger than safety. Suddenly, Hamza's phone vibrated again. Another message. He's coming again. Ali sped up the bike immediately. We have to hurry. Now there was only one question. Would they reach in time? Or would they become part of the same darkness where people never return? The night grew deeper, and the areas they entered were completely deserted. Broken buildings, shattered windows, rusted doors, and a strange chemical smell in the air. This could be the place, Hamza said softly. Ali stopped the bike. They looked at each other, and without saying a word, they both understood. There was no turning back now. They stood in front of a large abandoned factory. The gate was half open, as if someone had left in a hurry. Inside, complete darkness. Only a faint yellow light could be seen far away. Hamza turned on his phone flashlight. Ready? Ali took a deep breath. Let's go. As soon as they entered, an eerie silence surrounded them. Only the sound of their footsteps echoed. Tap, tap, tap. Suddenly, Hamza's phone vibrated again. A message. Stairs, down. Basement, Hamza whispered. They slowly walked toward the stairs. The metal steps creaked under their weight. Creak. As soon as they reached the bottom, the air became heavier. Breathing felt difficult. The smell of chemicals was strong. And then they heard it. A faint sobbing sound. Someone was crying. Hamza pointed the flashlight, and what he saw made his heart stop. Inside a room, a girl was tied up, her hands bound with rope, fear in her eyes, the same voice, the same girl. "We're here to get you out," Hamza said softly. Hope flickered in her eyes. But at that moment, a voice came from behind. "What are you doing here?" They froze, slowly turned around. A man standing in the shadows. He stepped into the light, a metal rod in his hand. Cold, emotionless eyes. "You shouldn't have come here," Ali said carefully. "We're just taking her." The man started laughing, a terrifying, chilling laugh. "You think she's just a girl?" "What do you mean?" Hamza asked. "She's not the first." Hamza's hands trembled. "You did this to others too?" The man stepped closer. "This is an experiment." They were shocked. "I'm observing how long a human can survive in fear, in loneliness." The girl cried loudly, "Please, get me out of here!" There was no time to think. Ali signaled Hamza, and in the next second, they moved. Ali pushed the man. Hamza ran to the girl and untied her. The man screamed in anger and charged at them with the rod. Everything slowed down for a moment. Attack! Ali barely dodged it. Hamza freed the girl. "Run! Now!" All three ran towards the exit. Behind them, the man was screaming, "You won't escape!" They rushed up the stairs, hearts pounding, breath racing, and finally, they made it out. The cold night air felt like life itself. They jumped on the bike and rode away without looking back. Ending. A few days later, the police raided the factory and found evidence. The man was arrested. The girl slowly returned to a normal life. One day, she said to Hamza, "If you hadn't answered that call that night, I might not be alive today." Hamza stayed silent. He looked up at the sky and softly said, "Sometimes, just one call can change someone's entire life."